Hello and welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is a reading for Aries. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that, Two of Wands. Very strong. This is very assertive Aries energy. Okay, so I think this is going to be a very powerful reading. We're going to put this into some context with our Dove and Serpent spread. Already a lot of really good earth energy. Fire and earth, and then a little bit of air. That's going to be very interesting how we get through that. And then you know what? More air on the path of the dove too. We've got the star, we've got the priestess, we've got the Queen of Swords, and we've got the Knight of Discs. Let's do our mystery card. Bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to be using the Smith-Waite Tarot, and we're just going to select one. We're going to set it down. We'll put the lizard on top, and we're not going to look at that until the very end. Okay? And hopefully that will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. Okay? So as far as major arcana go, we have two on the path of the serpent coming at the end, right? The culmination of all of this energy is in the priestess and the star. That's really a beautiful combination of cards. But to get to all of that, we have to go through some of this air and water. We take a lot of our fire and earth, and we go through the air and water to get to that wonderful accomplishment, the communion with spirit, this divine energy that's waiting for you at the end, okay? So to get there, we start with the Two of Wands. Now, Aries, I think you're currently in a very assertive frame of mind, right? You're in a kind of, you've got this take charge attitude. And I feel like you are making decisions, you are stepping up into a leadership role, which is something that I think you're naturally pretty good at, okay? I think that you've been in leadership positions before, and you're kind of currently being asked, maybe not asked, but you're kind of assuming the role, right? I think there's a power vacuum, and I think you're stepping into it, okay? So the Two of Wands, I see you making a lot of decisions. Now, this could have to do with, well, it could be a work thing with all of these earth cards. It could be something to do with work, with employment, with a career, or just with whatever you spend your time doing, right? Whatever your work is, even if you're retired, even if you're in school, it's that work that you're doing every day, right? What you're putting your effort into. I think it, excuse me, I think it really involves a lot of decisions right now, okay? I think it involves a lot of leadership, even if you're just kind of an army of one. You know, you have to lead yourself. You have to make the difficult decisions based on what you know is right, and you have to push forward, okay? Now, I see that you are making decisions in regards this Princess of Discs. Now, this has got to be one of the most beautiful cards in the Thoth deck. And this is the unlimited potential for manifestation. Okay? This is you making all of the little decisions, right? I think you have a kind of grand vision, right, of what you want with your life, where you're taking this project, this career, this business, you know, whatever you're involved with. You have a particular place that you would like to arrive at, okay? But what we have to do is take charge of all of the little things, all of the little details. And now we've got details in here with the Eight of Discs. I keep looking at the Three of Wands up there, which we'll get to in a second. But these three cards here Are you making all of those kind of minor, they may seem like insignificant, decisions, like what to have for breakfast, right? What color socks to wear today. But these are the decisions that are bringing you step by step closer to this star energy. Now, that star energy is the full realization of your dreams, right? I think it is a really, really big win that's coming. But we have to do all of these seemingly unimportant things. All of these little activities that all are just like drops in the bucket. It's like we're draining the ocean one drop at a time. And it's all of these seemingly insignificant details that are going to be the most important to you, because it's doing a few things for you. Here's the Three of Wands up above. It is teaching you about yourself. It's teaching you what kind of things you really like to do and what kind of things you have an aversion to doing, right? So by being forced to take care of all of the small details, make all these minor decisions, they seem minor, you're learning a lot about who you are. You're learning a lot about what your limits are, right? And I think you're also training your willpower. You're training your ability to make the big decisions that might not always be easy. They might not always feel good or feel right in the moment, but because you know yourself, because you're connected with spirit, because you're connected with yourself, with your purpose, with your plan, you're connected with this star. See, I think this star, even though it's coming at the end of the path of the serpent, seems like a long way off, that starlight is already reaching you. And it's coming down through the Three of Wands. Okay? This is your connection to that starlight. And it is that starlight that informs every decision you make. Even those small, like what to have for breakfast. I had a banana. So you stay informed by that starlight, and it comes through the Three of Wands, and this is, again, you're learning about yourself, you're exercising your willpower, right? By forcing yourself to do all of these minor things. Now, with the Princess of Discs, these are all of the things. These are the good things and the kind of the things that you don't really have an affinity for. The tough decisions, or the decisions that seem so minor, they seem frivolous, they seem like somebody else should be doing them. But you're really hands-on. You're really taking care of as much of this as you can. You've got your attention on everything. Okay? And I really think that is keeping you kind of on track, where it's, even something that isn't related to the work you're doing, like what you have for breakfast. It may not seem related, but it is, essentially, right? Everything that you do, I think, is being done with intention. It's being informed by the starlight through the Three of Wands, through your character, through a kind of internal ethical compass that you might have. It's your ability to know what is right for the work that you're doing, for the plan that you have. Okay? So the Princess of Discs is the little rewards that we get as we do these very minor things, as we continue the mundane, the daily toil of this work, right? We may be getting tired of it. We may not really see the benefits of it in the moment. But the Princess of Discs is showing you a small portion, just lifting the veil a little bit for you to see the star energy and to keep you motivated. These small rewards along your path to keep you going. Okay. And I do kind of think that this is maybe related to a business. Here's the Four of Discs in the recent past, or this is what was behind you. This could be what was going on yesterday. Okay. This could be the establishment of the building itself, the foundation of this work, your home base. Could be that you've recently moved into a new house. Could be that you've recently renovated. Maybe you've recently rented an office or leased a building. Maybe this is you just setting up your home office, right? This could be you getting your studio together. This could be you getting the foundation built and all the tools that you need ready. Okay. And I kind of think this was, like yesterday. This was something that you've already accomplished. And this is where you're working from right now. Okay. So what we have here really is a lot of fire and a lot of earth. Okay. And I feel like this is where all of your focus is. This is where all of your attention is. And this is really, you're really doing the work. It's a daily grind. Okay, I think you're working very hard. You're working diligently and patiently. You know that this takes time, whatever you're working on, if it's school or university, if it's a career, if you're building a business, if this is something that's more traditionally artistic, Whatever projects you're working on, you know that it takes time, right? You've focused on the fundamentals first, right? You've got the building set up, you've got your office, your desk is organized, your headquarters, right? So now we're focused on manifesting. We're focused on receiving the starlight, receiving the intuition, the conscience, whatever this is that is informing you about these little decisions. It's like you're not hesitating. Somebody asks you what you want for dinner, you answer, right? There's no kind of wishy-washy. There's no thinking about it, really. There's no going back and forth. There's no mulling it over. You just know. You're very decisive about everything right now. That's going to change a little bit tomorrow, okay, or sometime in the near future. Here's a 7 of Swords. This is a little bit of a blockage, okay? This is something that is coming through that is making you less decisive, right? This is you trying to stick to your central Ace of Swords, your central pillar, your truth, your focus, your concentration. Your path is singular. It is one. It's unified. But all these other little things keep poking around, and it's starting to distract you a little bit or pull you in different directions. It's trying to poke holes in your plan, in your central Ace of Swords here. So I feel like we need to have a kind of a renewal. We need to have a bit of a reconnection with Source in order to kind of activate this starlight again so we can stay on this fire-earth energy mode. Because this is really where it's at until you kind of reach the next, milestone or what have you. But in the future, tomorrow, the next day, something is going to cause this disturbance in the force, right? And I wonder if this might have something to do with a relative, a family member, somebody that you have an emotional connection with. I almost feel like somebody comes into your life. It could be an air sign person. It could be a water sign person. Right? We have air, a lot of air and water over here that I think is part of the distraction. So it's something emotional that distracts your mind, right? Water and air. We're first going to notice this in our, not confusion, but in the delay, in the latency in our decision making. Things are going to slow down a little bit. It's almost like we have to reconsider a few things now because there is this emotional energy coming in. Okay. It could be from a Cancer person, it could be from a water sign generally, or even more generally, it could be from any friend or family member that you have an emotional tie with. Someone that I think you maybe were once very close with, but possibly not so much anymore. Maybe you haven't seen this person in a while. Maybe you get some news about them or they contact you, they reach out, and it brings up a lot of emotions for you. Okay. And that kind of challenges our clarity. Here is the Queen of Swords. We're striving for a very clear vision. Again, we want this starlight. Well, we want the star. Right now we're receiving the starlight. But there's this water and air kind of creating like a fog. We can't really find the starlight right now. It's not reaching us as clearly as it was. So with the Queen of Swords, this is the clarity with which we are seeing the starlight now getting a little bit of a haze, a little bit of a fog in front of it. Okay, not a frog, but a fog. So this is part of the reason why I feel like we need to reconnect with Source, reconnect with our purpose, reconnect with Spirit, and I think we're doing that through this Priestess energy. Okay. Now, this person that's coming into your life, I don't know if it's someone that you used to have a relationship with, and now they kind of reach out, they contact you again or something. Or if it's like a family member that you haven't talked to in a while, and then, you know, they call you or they text you or something, and you kind of get started on their, you know, with their life a little bit. And it distracts you somewhat from yours, or it takes some of your focus off of this starlight and these little decisions that you're making, and all of this assertiveness that you have, and this real decisive energy that I've been feeling. This is like, just the colors of these. You know, we go from here, and then we kind of do a little blending, and then we're over here. So this is a real contrast just from these two paths. Okay. So what we really need to do is reconnect with Spirit. Here's that Priestess energy. Weirdly, though, it's in the position of what you don't want, or what your fears, worries, or concerns are. What I think might be happening, and this is kind of, it's kind of a reinforcing loop here, is that we're starting to question our interpretation of the starlight, right? We're wondering if we've been getting the message all wrong. It's like this person has come back into our lives. They've stirred up a bunch of stuff, and now we're starting to question our own motivations. We're starting to question our choices. We're starting to question our path in life and our interpretation of that starlight. Maybe we got it all wrong. Maybe we should be doing something else. And this is exactly the type of chaos that we don't want in this system. In this fire earth system, the last thing we need is this kind of air and this kind of water. Okay. So to have the priestess in this position is almost this reluctance to re-examine our purpose, to reconnect with Spirit, with Source, to get a clear vision of that starlight. Because what if we're wrong? What if we can't interpret it now? What if what we thought was our path is no more? Maybe part of you thinks your path now involves this person again, right? And so we're kind of nervous, kind of scared about what Spirit is going to tell us, okay, through this priestess energy. I think the biggest fear, though, is that we're going to be searching for this starlight, and it's going to have withdrawn, right? I don't know why. I don't know why it would. But the worry here is that, you know, there's the reason why we don't want this card is because what if that starlight is gone? What if we are cut off from that starlight, from that message, from Source? You know, what if we have allowed too much entropy, too much of this chaos in the system that now we've kind of lost the frequency, you know, with our star. But that's even more reason why we need this priestess energy, right? We need to call upon God, Goddess, Deity, guardian angels, spirit guides, ancestors, universal mind, universal energy, the absolute, the void, the nothing, whatever we call it, the universe, higher mind, true self, whatever term we want to give that energy. We need to call upon that, okay? And we need to be open and receptive to whatever message is coming from that star. Now, the star that we are aiming for, this is the big win, all right? This is the big win that we're headed toward. This is a little bit of a speed bump obstacle, but we're going to get there, okay? This star has not ceased sending its starlight to you. A lot of S's there. You have not been cut off from the message, but we have to open ourselves up again and be, you know, kind of surrender to that starlight and allow it into us, allow it to inform us, right? Even if what we kind of learn is that we've gotten off track with some of this energy down here. That maybe we kind of got caught in this trap a little bit, but that's okay. We can get out of it. Because this star is you. It is your destiny. It is the complete fulfillment of your will, right? This is the big win for you, whatever you're working on. And this is the goal to keep in mind. This stuff down here may or may not be important. I don't know exactly what it is or how significant it is. But I feel like you've got to keep your eyes on the prize. Yeah. And the way to do that is, of course, through this priestess energy. Okay. The priestess energy that's kind of what we're worried about, right? We're worried about what kind of message we're going to receive because maybe we know, maybe there's part of us that knows that this stuff down here is a distraction, and we know that we've kind of gotten off track with what we've been doing, and we kind of, we know that, and we're worried about what kind of message we're going to receive about this. But nevertheless, that star is waiting for you there. I want to look at the mystery card and see if that sheds a little bit more light, no pun intended. Thank you, Lizard, for being the guardian of the mystery today. This maybe will be some sort of maybe a fire-earth combination. So maybe like a 4 of Wands, maybe a Knight of Discs, I think would be okay. But I feel like it's something to do with this starlight energy. It's going to be some kind of major arcana. No, it's the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups. So I think Spirit is telling you that this stuff down here, this distraction, this whatever is kind of pulling your focus away, is an illusion. It is a distraction. It is something that is trying to tempt you away from your destiny, right? The 7 here is something that kind of enamors us, right? It seems like something we want, but once we get close to it and we get involved with it, we realize, we see through the illusion. It's not what we want after all, right? So I feel like this energy, whoever this person is, whatever kind of drama they bring, is something that you might be tempted to engage with or indulge in, but you know that it's not the right decision. It doesn't really vibe with what you're doing and the path that you're already on. Okay. Now the tarot doesn't tell you what to do. It's not saying to ignore this or avoid this. It's just saying be honest with what it is and try to keep that connection with Spirit, with Source, with your star, so that you don't get off track. Okay. Whatever you do with this energy, well, of course, that's up to you. But let's be real about what it is, and let's be real about how it fits in or does not fit in to this work that you're doing and this path that you're on. Okay. Now, I think what I want to do is call upon the I Ching for a little bit of advice here. Okay. We've got 64 cards representing the 64 hexagrams, the wisdom of the ancient Chinese sages and their connection with Source, with Spirit. And now I know this is not the traditional way of casting a hexagram, but I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. Maybe one day I'll pull out the yarrow stalks and we can do a full I Ching video if you're interested in that. But for right now, to supplement what we have here in the tarot, we're going to do one card from the I Ching. Okay. And that card is 28, Great Exceeding. The ridgepole warps, fruitful to have a direction to go, creating success. That's telling me that you are, if you stop moving on this path, see the ridgepole is that center pole that bears the weight of the structure, right? If you remain where you are, if you get distracted in this stuff here, whatever this drama is, whatever this situation is, if you become enamored with it and you indulge in that and it stops your forward progress, right? If you kind of pause what you're doing to deal with this, it's like you're underneath this structure and the central beam, the load-bearing beam is starting to sag and it's going to buckle, it's going to break and collapse down on you. This situation is like a very rickety building after an earthquake. It's coming down. You've got to move. Okay, let's see what else is going on with this hexagram. So there's the hexagram. On the back it says, when you exceed something, you cross over a line and make a transition. This brings stress, but also a greatness of spirit and purpose beyond the scope of the situation. Things cannot hold up as they are, like the ridgepole of the traditional Chinese house, so there must be movement. Reach out imaginatively, and explore. What is overloaded? What have you outgrown? And what must you do? So I feel like this is you kind of returning to old sweetnesses, you know? I feel like if we get stuck here, this is, you know, something that is, well, it's excess, right? Because even the Seven of Cups is showing excess, right? We have too many of these cups and they're all of the wrong kind. So I feel like this is a setup here. This is a situation that cannot be sustained, and if you remain here, it's going to cause damage to your overall path, right? So it is like this, the ridgepole, and we have to get out from underneath this, okay? So what is overloaded? Well, we see this water and air kind of overload. We've got 2 air, we've got 2 water, and that mystery card, I think, is showing the excess of this, and it's kind of like you're toying with old sweetnesses, and it's distracting you from your will, right? It's pulling you away from your path. So things cannot hold up as they are. There must be movement. Yes, we must continue on our path because this situation it's like the roof is going to collapse on this, you know. So that is some very sagely advice from the E. Now, it does say it's fruitful to have a direction to go. You have a direction. You're going to your star. You're going to your big win, to your destiny, to your ultimate fulfillment. So when you see the roof starting to buckle, starting to cave in, it's time to get going. You should leave before that, okay? So you don't have to kind of run out. Keep moving toward your goal and you will be successful with that star energy. Now we're going to do an extended. If you would like to stick around, just click on the link that's up there. You'll have access to every extended reading, not just for Aries, but for every zodiac sign. I want to thank you for being here and for letting me read for you. I really do appreciate you. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the reading, and I'll see you again very soon.